All right, who doesn't want a raise or some more time off? Well, when you're Detroit City Council, those asks are going to come with some big-time scrutiny. The council just passed a resolution to take almost a week off next month. Now, normally they use a spring break to work on the budget, but it's already been approved. The decision to take extra time off comes on the heels of a request by Council President Brenda and City Clerk Janice Winfrey for an increase in pay. So far, the other council members have not openly discussed their views on a pay raise, and a final decision will be made by the city's Compensation Commission. They had an open meeting this week, and a couple of people, it wasn't a very heavily attended meeting, lined up to kind of give their opinion on this, and the overwhelming majority has been, I don't think they need a raise right now. Nolan, what do you think?
Well, I mean, the timing of this was just ridiculous. Brenda Jones asked the commission to raise her salary, and the same week that cuts for retirees went into effect from the bankruptcy deal. I mean, it's just insensitive and boneheaded. I think that the council should prove that they deserve a raise before. I mean, they just got their powers back. We don't know whether it's going to be a good council or a bad council. I don't mind paying politicians a decent wage, what they're worth. I'm not, one of those folks who say, oh, strip their pay or whatever. But let's see how well they do, and let's wait until the city's able to restore some of the cuts to other employees before they take theirs first.
Yeah, how do you measure, though, how well they're doing? What would the bar be for you?
Well, I mean, if they play a constructive role in this ongoing recovery and management of the city out of bankruptcy, if they take common sense votes instead of digging their heels in on things that need to be done, we don't know what kind of council this is going to be yet. And, but apart from that, a lot of people took concessions for the city. A lot of people made sacrifices. As they're restored, maybe that would be time to restore the cuts the council took, but they shouldn't be first in line.
What do you think?
Well, I mean, you heard the testimony during the Compensation Commission's testimony this week about their pay. They are underpaid, but most people who work for the city of Detroit are underpaid, and I think that's the issue. The context here is missing. If you're going to restore council pay, which was cut as part of a budget cutting process that also cut the mayor's pay and some other people's, then I think you have to look at the overall pay for people in the city, and you start at the bottom. You started with the lowest paid workers who are working for less than they used to, and now don't have the kind of pensions that they used to offer people. I don't think they're wrong substantively.
Does this look bad?
But you're right. It's the timing. Yeah, it looks horrible. You have the council president saying, "I need more money," at a time, like Nolan said, when retirees are taking hits, when the lowest paid workers in the city are still at the low end of
you got
the
one
pay
of them
scale.
sitting in jail right now. I mean,
one of the council members, right?
You got a councilman sitting in jail over in Macomb County. I wonder if he's getting his pay this week, while he's doing his drunk driving. You got another one who, could go to jail at any minute. You never know with Cushenberry. I mean, is this really?
Well, that's.
Are we really making a case?
I actually think
folks are worth.
I actually think the council's been doing okay. I mean, since we had the new mayor and the new council, they've worked very well together under the bankruptcy to get things done that needed to be done to get us through that. I feel like they've been working pretty well together now. My problem is not with performance. My problem is with, again, the context. If you're going to raise their pay, who else should get a pay raise and who should be in line in front of them?
What about this time off, this week time off that they usually take around spring break to look at the budget? The budget's already done. They still want the time off. Is this just a big deal about nothing?
It probably. I mean, what are they going to do if they go in for a week? I mean, sometimes they can do more damage being there than
say if they're not there, they can't pass.
I don't know.
Stuff.
They don't need to be sitting perhaps in City Hall for that week. It might be useful if they were out in their communities trying to figure out what problems they could solve. I don't know what their schedule is. I'm sure they get plenty of time off. They probably shouldn't be voting extra time off, but they don't necessarily need to be at the council table. They could be out in their districts figuring things out.
All right, well, that commission is supposed to make a decision about pay raises by the end of the month.